Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have a lot more fun. I'm your host, Paul Sanneman. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Source, where we help contractors build great teams. My guest today is Brett Thornton from Destination Motivation. This sounds like fun, but the fun part, right? So, Brett, tell me what your company does.
Yeah, so first off, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, absolutely. And I love talking to contractors. So Destination Motivation, when you see the name, a lot of times you might see this on LinkedIn or on social media and you'll see things about vacation. So you might be thinking it's a vacation company or an employee rewards company, but that's not it. We are actually a sales tool that is used to close more of your leads, that is used to drastically reduce your cancellations, boost ticket, reduce discounting, and it's actually one of the only service providers that can actually guarantee you success if you roll out this program. And the reason is because it's so easy to see the difference between jobs that have a vacation voucher attached to it and jobs that don't. And so what we do is we actually provide vacation vouchers that are essentially up to a 7 night cruise or luxury condo resort vacation for your clients. And this is not a timeshare, there's no gimmicks. We just surpassed it. I think you can see in my picture our 3,600 reviews maintaining 5 stars. So you know it's not some gimmicky thing. And the
Right.
reason is because we actually have an internal team all across the U.S. of concierge that are booking travel for thousands and thousands of your clients out there today. And what we do is we've partnered with over 4,500 of these resorts around the world on your behalf in these top 4 cruise lines to get these really incredible vouchers that are not free. So I'll put that out there. It's not a free vacation. What it is it's a voucher that will save them between 50 and 80, sometimes up to 90, 95% off on a vacation that they're already going to book. And so this is what I want to say, Paul, right? Where for all of you contractors out there, we are in a very difficult business time, right? Because inflation has gotten so crazy. The cost of everything is wild, right? And so consumers are now getting more quotes than they've ever had. We just got back from, the conference I met you at last
Yeah.
week, at Service World. And all the clients are like, yeah, the average consumer is getting 3, 4, 5 bids, right? Because they're
Right.
just concerned about the price. And so one of the reasons that they're so concerned, right, is because money is tight. So the
Right.
average family of 4 is now setting aside over $10,000 a year for their vacations. It's up
Mhm.
from 5,000 not even 2 years ago because everything has gotten more expensive. And so when something breaks, when you got to fix the roof, you got to fix an AC, you got to do one of these things. Well, where's the money coming from, Paul? Right? Like family
Hopefully,
doesn't have,
they're not their vacation fund.
well,
That's the problem, right?
that's where it's pulling from, right? And so what we do is we provide this emotional leverage for contractors to be able to use. You don't have to give up on the vacation and fix the siding, right? You don't have to give up on the vacation and fix the roof, whatever it is. And so consumers psychologically love this, right? Because they know that that's the thing they want to spend their money on more than anything. COVID changed the entire world. It changed our psychology. So everyone was stuck inside for 2 years, and then what did we do afterwards?
Right.
2022, we're gone, right? And so
Right.
that's what people want to spend their money on. And so it's very simple to make an emotional attachment when you're in the home or in an environment where you're selling, where you're like, hey, by going with us today, not only are you getting blank, whatever the job is, right? But also you've qualified for this incredible vacation voucher. We can save, thousands of dollars and
So
have a
tell me
concierge.
what is a typical vacation voucher? Does it cost the contractor anything, or yeah?
Yeah, so
What?
the contractor essentially that's what we do, right? So we sell the vouchers to the contractors to use. So it's a very simple process. Essentially, whatever they want to use it as, generally we try on every job if it's a decent size, but ultimately they're using that as a closing tool, using it as a tool to stop cancellations, and they're paying us, a small amount for each voucher. And in return, their clients can book anything they want. So here's the magic. We actually call every single client that you book within 24 to 48 hours. And our concierge will talk to them. First, they get a testimonial about your client, which is awesome about you as an organization that you can use for marketing. But then they also fish out if there's anything there that could potentially be a cancel, which we help you save. But then mainly we tell them how they're going to redeem their voucher. And they're amazed at how
So what
much
does the
they can
voucher
save.
look like? How much do I pay for it, and what is it worth?
Yeah, so the voucher, well, on it depends on like anything on the size of a client, but let's say it's a couple $100 for a voucher, and the client on their side, they can save thousands. because it just depends on what they book. And that's why it's not like one of those things where you say, hey, here's a cruise, you got to go here on this date and this is the value. It's not that. They're going to get their own personal concierge. They're like, I want to go to Europe. I'm going to do a cruise. I want to do a staycation. I want to bring my family down the street. Well, if you book for a condo, you're paying just the tax and like a resort fee. If you do a cruise, it's a port fee. And then if there's any other expenses, that's only because the client on their own was like, well, you know what? I'm saving so much. I'd rather do the blank, right? So I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a client that they want to go on a cruise and they're like, I want the bare bones. So maybe it's, a great room on the inside of the cruise and all they're paying is the port fee and tax. They maybe pay $500. It would have cost them 3,000 and they're ecstatic. They save $2,500. But maybe they're like, well, what can I do that's better? Right? Like, oh, I want to go on the captain's quarters and it would have cost 15,000. Instead, I paid 3 and they just saved $12,000 on the trip of a lifetime, right? So that's completely up to them. It doesn't matter to the contractor. You don't have to do anything but bring it up in the beginning and let us do the work. That's why we just got ranked, for the top, for the Power 100. We're the second for service providers out of all 100 that were on there. And we work with 24 of the top 32 contractors in the United States now. And that list is growing every day. So, at the end of the day, the reason is because we provide such an easy to see value, right? So
basically you pay give or take a couple $100 for a voucher or whatever it is.
Yep.
And then they get 50 to 90% off on whatever vacation they want to do, right?
Yep. And the beautiful thing is, think about this. How many people have a home where they have to do one of these projects for your contractors and are not going on vacation? They're not, 92% of them are going, right? Almost all. So they're going to go anyways. So here's the thing. If you're getting, Paul, if you're trying to get out and sell someone and you already know they're getting 3, 4, 5 bids, how are you setting yourself apart? How are you generating leads? Right? Imagine like being able in your marketing to be able to pull people in by saying, oh, by the way,
now, how do you market that as, on their website? How do you help them market that value?
Yeah, so we've got legitimately, this is not hyperbole, thousands of pieces of marketing collaterals. And so we make it custom for all of our partners, right? So we have hundreds of clients across the US and we create every single month, we create, flyers, door hangers, scratch offs, anything that's going to help them drive more business. And it's all custom to them because it's not us. It's their vouch. They're doing this, right? They're providing this with the job, which is awesome. And so we just put it all in their names, use their logos, whatever it is. We brainstorm with our marketing teams to help them drive more opportunities and then ultimately in the home close more deals. I mean, that's really where we come in. And
so it only costs them give or take a couple $100 a voucher. And then you do everything for them. And their closing ratio is obviously goes way up because.
Yeah. So we've got a calculator tool on our website. So increaseoursales.com. You can go on it and go to just service provider. You choose what kind of division you're in. There's a calculator that will show you average numbers of savings from this year. This is not fake numbers. This is not whatever. So if you're a contractor right now, when we sign up a new client, the cancellation rate drops by 55.7%. That is our average this year. And we can back it up, which is really cool because the reality is it's very simple. Why? It's because normally when you make a big purchase, there's a ton of buyer's remorse. Psychological. We all have it, right? And so instead of thinking of, oh, why did we do this? Do we need to do it? Do we need to spend this much? They're actually on our website already looking right off the bat. They get an email the second the deal's done with, from us saying, hey, we're going to call you. Start looking at places you could go. So we're replacing that buyer's remorse.
Right. So what happens? You get, buying something's fun as opposed to regretful, right?
100%, right? Because let's like most of these purchases for our industries, these are grudge purchases. Right? We don't want to be redoing our roof.
No, you don't want a roof. You don't want to. You just have to do it, and
you got to do it.
Makes total sense. Well, this probably the best thing I've heard about in a long time. So, Brett, if people want to get in touch with you to learn more about this, how do they do that?
Yeah, so you just go to increaseoursales.com, and there's, like I said, that calculator tool. But right next to that, on any page, there's a drop down that will say contact, put in information. But, I'm very active on LinkedIn. So if they want to talk to me or have questions, they can directly reach out. But we also have an offer specifically for you guys. So if anyone comes in through this podcast, through Business Success Tips, we're actually going to give them a break on the price, because at the end of the day, like that's how it works, all these industries, right? Like we want word of mouth and we want to be able to get in front of your clients. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what we want to do.
I'm ready to go. Sounds awesome, dude. Well, so thank you. I really appreciate it. This is probably the best thing I heard about all week. Sounds awesome. I
Sweet.
appreciate your time. And I will tell you, if you're not using this, it's just not smart. I mean, come on. I mean, if you can increase your closing ratio and that kind of stuff, and it doesn't cost you hardly anything, I'm sure the ROI is off the charts, right, Brett?
Off the charts. And you can plug it in that calculator and see. You don't have to put in any information. You'll just see how much you would save.
Okay. Brett, I really appreciate you being here. This is awesome information. I think if you don't call Brett, you're just not being smart.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate your
Well,
time.
appreciate it.